It's 126. Vaishnav, you come to the front. Why are you sitting in the back? This is nothing but the topic of the hour of the truth. Page number 126. Still, I suppose that some more students may come. It's 10 past 9. Baldwin, yes, I did not know there was the 100,000 until today. One type of interception is going on. And Grisham perhaps providing 1,000 as one type of a lucrative incentive, as one type of a bribe by which others are getting certain type of a response, and the response are nothing but the family members of Baldwin. They're demanding that how do we get 100,000? It could have repatriated our economic status, getting economical status, and thereby we must have improvised. But what happens to be there is certain type of a contrasting issues they are talking about. When Baldwin was showing honest, at that time there was any type of a desponding activities among the family members that why you were not actually taking the bribe. But when he was disclosing that I am very honest, at that time the family members were suspicious. Actually, my father or our father may not be actually honest. Had he honest, there would have not be any type of a complaint or any type of a recalling from the police station or from the trial relating to the bribery activities in the bank. So, students, but in age I did not know there was 100,000 till until today. Grisham did not tell me. We reckoned without it. Grisham has not disclosed. Still, then he told me that there was 1,000. Actually 100,000, and you must have recall it. By recollecting it, you must be honestly, what you speak must be in favor of me. You must support me so far as the witness or evidence is concerned. If, oh, John, and you made both ends meet. That means you are maintaining your family, you are maintaining your life. Hands meet means anyway, by hook or by hook. ଯେକୌଣସି ମତେ ତୁମେ ତମ ପରିବାରଟାକୁ ଚଳେଇ ନେଉଛ that means କଷ୍ଟେ ମଷ୍ଟେ ଚାଲିଛ, you are not self sufficient in money so far as the economical status is concerned. Baldwin quite easily he smiles. Mr. Marshall is running the reorganization. Mr. Marshall on the Third National, he hasn't the least idea that it's going to turn out so well. What is the meaning of Third National? That is the third bank in America which controls and makes supervision over private sector banks. Private sector bank upare Third National Bank on kare supervision ane or control ane. So here certain type of a glossary you must have to go through, students. You were members of alternative English family. Smash up means crash. Make good means repair the damage. Whip hand means control. Under a cloud means under suspicion. Perjure means lie under oath. Believe for you that means John doesn't think that what his father has done is a great achievement or something very exciting. Mincing matter. What is the meaning of mincing matter? Cover up an unpleasant statement in delicate or nice words. Haggle means argue or bargain or debate. Then the Third National means Third National Bank supervising and controlling private banks in America. जोटा अमेरिका रे प्राइवेट बैंक को कौन करता है कंट्रोल बा सुपरविजन देता है. आज एनीवे को कंप्लीट करने ले क्वेश्चन. John, they are going to punish Grisham, aren't they? They are. That is the question tag, aren't they? Next, last class perhaps we are going on with the questions. Anisha, you are available, right? You and Sneha. Baldwin, I am afraid so. John, what for? Baldwin, misappropriating the funds of the misappropriating in the sense misutilizing the funds of the bank in the private sector. John interpreting by interrupting. Oh, I know that. But what crime has he committed? What is the crime committed by him? Baldwin, that's a crime, John. That's a crime. If But if nobody loses anything by it, what is the actually shortcomings? Actually, listen here, students. We all the actually depositors still then those money belongs to certain more persons. Those who are having certain type of condition. Still then they secured the money in the bank. But when it was misutilized, actually that appropriation is not for the individual activities, it is the collection of the collectives. So students, Berlin, it is a crime nevertheless. Why, John? And they are going to punish him for it. He is getting to be punished now. Berlin, they can't let him go, John. He is too conspicuous, means dubious or doubtful. Then, John, do you think that's right, Dad? Berlin, my opinion doesn't matter, John. John, but what do you think? What is the thinking behind it? Berlin, I think that I am sorry for John Gray. Some terrible sorry. Terrible in the sense, extremely sorry. I am very sorry for Grayson. John, slowly. It is nothing but technicality, that why you are making certain type of tricks, why you are wanting yourself for retrieving here. That nobody loses a cent. Actually, when I am discussing about nobody is losing a percent, that means a cent in the sense a coin at least, a rupee at least, whatever you can convert, a dollar at least. It's rather hard on Gresham. I say it is very hard for Gresham to pay the amount. Berlin. Yes, John. If timidly, would it be such an awful thing? Awful in the sense dangerous. When we are taking any type of a bribe, any type of, lucrative assets to fulfill our greed. Father, if you let him off, Berlin, I wish I could have. But I am not the judge. I am not actually taking the responsibility. If no, but Berlin, but what? If you are the only witness against him, you can show your manifestation against him. You are the only witness, and his fate depends on your trial. If you are to be positive, then he would be actually to certain extent released. When you are negative to him, he would be punished for that crime. Berlin, yes. John says right, that Berlin, you too, John. John, it is going to be a nasty mess if they put John Gresham in jail with your own son named after him. It is going to be pleasant for me, John Gresham Berlin. Actually, some type of Christian activities. Christian means nomenclature. Relating to John and relating to Gresham, relating to the bank authorities. So for us, Martha, after a pause, Robert, I am not sure I understand what you said before. What did Mr. Gresham you to do for him? What type of sacrifice do you will perform for your benediction? Baldin, get him off tomorrow, Martha. You could do that. Baldin, yes, Martha, how? Baldin, by answering, I don't remember when they asked me dangerous questions. Martha, oh. And you do remember? Baldin, yes, nearly everything. John, no matter what they ask you. Baldin, I can always refresh my memory. You see, I have notes. That means what I am telling, I am going through the notes. I am refreshing my memory. That is not wrong. Baldin, what do you mean, John? John, as a matter of fact, you will have to rely on your notes nearly altogether, won't you? That means you will not actually depend or not. Baldin, everybody else does the same thing, John. Then it won't be far from the truth if you say, I don't remember. Martha, I don't see that. Mr. Gresham is asking so much of you. Baldin, Martha. Martha Robert, I am as honorable as you are. That means I am respectable in the society. Baldin, that goes without saying, Martha. Martha, it does not seem right to me to send an old friend to jail. Actually, it is not justified to send your old friend to jail. Now, don't interrupt me. I have been thinking the day John was Christians named when Mr. Ransom stood sponsor for him. What is the meaning of sponsor? Sponsor means ଆମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଯୋଉଟା କହୁ ପ୍ରଯୋଜକ ପ୍ରଯୋଜକ ମାନେ କଣ ଯିଏ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ ଫଙ୍କସନିଂ ପାଇଁ ବା ସେଲିବ୍ରେସନ ପାଇଁ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ କରିଥାନ୍ତି ମନି a person who has donated the money for the total eventual activities ତାକୁ ବା ଇଭେଣ୍ଟଫୁଲ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ ତାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଥାଉ କଣ କି particularly relating to our sponsor for him. How proud we were. And when we come home from the church, you said, do you remember what you said, Robert? What you have told? When you return from the church, you have to remember it, Marlene. No, what was it? I have not remembered that. Means Martha, you said, Martha, may our son always live up to the name which we have given him. Provide. Do you remember that, Marlene? Yes, dimly. Dimly means faintly. Slowly. Dimly, slowly, students. Dimly in the sense, faintly. जोटा आम कहे अल्प वेग धीरे स्वर John. Only dimly, that's Berlin. What do you mean, John? Martha? It would be sad, very sad, if the name of John Grisham, our son's name, should come to grief with you, Robert. So, students, listen to me. Actually, Grisham is there. So, Grisham available, and before his name, there was substitution of John. And John is nothing but the name of the son of Berlin. Berlin, Martha, are you telling me to accept the bribe money that John Grisham offered me? That means, are in favor that I could have accepted the gift or bribe? Yes. Why do you call it bribe money, Father? Berlin. Why indeed, Grisham had a prettier name for it. He said that he had underpaid me all these years, you know. I was getting only 5,000 a year when the crash came. Actually, at that time, my monthly income was actually the earning was per annum. I mean, 5,000 rupees a year. So when I could have accepted 100,000, it would have been benefited to me for my maintenance of my family members. Berlin, why indeed Grisham had a prettier name for it, and he said that he had underpaid all these years, you know. I was getting only 5,000 a year when the crash came. John, Berlin. He said 100,000 represented the differences between what he had paid me and what I had actually been worth to him. So that was the difference between personality of different persons. One person was honest, and another person was a briber, lover of bribe. So students, you must be knowing about honesty is the best policy. If you are honest, it can prevail. When we are dishonest, it may be sunk down. So, Martha, that's no less than true, Robert. You have worked for him very faithfully, Berlin. He said that if he had paid me what he should have, I would have put by more than 100,000 by now. By now, I would have paid 100,000. John, that's so. Is not it that? Berlin, who knows? I never asked him to raise my salary. When he raised it, it was of his own accord. Well, what do you think of it, F? What is your thinking here? What you are prospecting about? If you go on the stand tomorrow, Berlin S. If did they put John Grisham in jail, what will people say? Friendship is better than fame. So if your friend is committing any type of mistake, you blindly support him. But it is not honest, it is not humanitarian precepts. So, Berlin, they will say, I have done my duty. No more and no less. Actually, performer duty is available in the name of Berlin. If will they? Berlin, why? What should they say? What must be demonstrated to all? I don't think so, of course. But other people might say that you had a torn traitor to your best friend. When you are supporting your friend who is considered to be a traitor, after the commitment of the disarm, the person committing disarm must come to the limelight. And whether he could have turned to an honest personality. A traitor can be a best friend or honest friend. The time will say, Berlin. You don't mean that if when they find out that they haven't lost any money, when John Grisham tells them that he will pay back every cent, then they won't want him to go. They will feel sorry for him. One type of accusation is going on there. May I come in? Well, in age, I believe that I hope so. John. And they won't feel too kindly disposed towards the man who helps put him in jail. That means those who are set in jail. Martha. They will say you went back on an old friend report, John. When you pull out your notes in courts to be sure of sending him to jail, that means when you will be accurate, when you will be honest, you will refresh yourself by recalling the notes, then no doubt Gresham will be sent to jail. And Mr. Gresham hasn't done anything really wrong. John. It's a technicality. That's what it is. Nobody loses a sense. Nobody wants to see him punished. Actually, nobody actually is in favor of sending 1% or a cent, and nobody also wants to see him to be punished. If except you have the reason is, and you are willing to jail the man after whom you named your son, Martha. I believe in being merciful, Robert. I am very merciful in the sense I am very kind-hearted, but in merciful, Martha, Mr. Gresham, has always been very good to you. Well, what are you going to do now, Robert? Berlin. What do you mean, Martha? You have been out of work since the bank closed. That means you are unemployed. Actually, if you are not getting a job when the bank is getting to be closed, so far the event occurred. Berlin. Oh, I will find a position, Martha. At your age, Berlin. It is the man that counts. Martha is. You said that a month ago. I heard from Donovan. Berlin, what did you hear? John he has gone with the third national, you know. Yes, he is helping with the reorganization. Actually, one type of a newly reorganized third national is getting on with getting to be established. Actually, that personality is perhaps getting their job, and name is perhaps Donovan. And Jen, they won't take Alex on their Baldwin. Their staff was full. They could not very well offer me a position as a clerk. Since their staff is full and Baldwin is expecting that they will not offer me a post. John, that was what they told you, Baldwin. Wasn't it true? That is true or not? John, Mr. Marshall said he would not employ a man who was just as guilty as John Gresham. Actually, it's not a personality is like a Gresham, who is considered to be guilty for so far as the third national is concerned. But I am not, John. You who knows it? Everybody will tomorrow know it after the trial, students. John, will they believe you or will they think you are trying to save your own skin? That means you are not involving yourself in that matter. Thereafter, you are disclosing anything else against our certain type of commitments relating to but then they will have to. But then I found out only a day before this mass. John, will believe that? Berlin. They will have to. John, how will you make them? I am afraid you will find that against you wherever you go, that you're testifying against John Gresham won't make things any better. If you ever get another job, it will be with him. That means they must have to correspond with him. If Gresham doesn't go to jail, he will start in business again, won't he? It's a question. And he can't offer you anything. Partnership would be but in a partnership, John, which is the 100,000 capital he could put in the business that is the 100,000 capital that must have been enough for you as investment. But when you are losing your temper, at that time you would be proud. Berlin, John, of course the capital doesn't matter. He will owe you quite a debt of gratitude besides. Not only that amount, actually, he will have to post certain type of gratitude of thanklessness. Berlin, Sorry, Martha, a 100,000 would mean a great deal to us, Robert. If you don't find a position soon, John will have to support us. John must have to support. John, on $30 a week, that won't go very far, Martha. It is not fair to John. John, oh, don't bother about me. It doesn't matter. John, look here, Dad. You have said nothing to the papers. If you say nothing more tomorrow, what does it amount to but sticking to your friends? It is the square thing to do. He would do as much as for you. That means he will contribute you for a much. Berlin looks appealing from one face to another. They are actually averted. After that, they change. Then he will want me to take this money. Say, yes, one of you. Or no, I could not go into partnership with Gresham. Gresham said, partnership. Martha, why not? Berlin, people would not trust him. ଯଦି ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ପାର୍ଟନରସିପ କରିବି ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କୁ trust ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରିବେନି. John, then you could go into business with someone else that 100,000 is a lot of money. 100,000 is बहुत lot money amount. Berlin, God knows I never thought this day would come. I know matter how you try to excuse it. I know that if I take this money, I do a dishonorable thing. And you know it, you and you and you, all of you, come and admit it. That Mr. Honesty must be it. Berlin, but among ourselves, John, whatever we are to the world, let us be honest with each other. What is talking about? The four of us will sums, layers, hypocrites, thieves. Actually, students, sums in the sense, actually the sumless persons. Liars means who are actually taking or telling lies. Hypocrites means the person who are making different type of tricks to cheat others, and thieves. And I know better than of any of you. You have seen our souls naked, and they stink in Almighty heaven. Well, why don't you answer me? Our souls naked. That means we are honest person. Our soul is naked. That means we have certain type of attachment with the Almighty. So long as we have the blessing of the Almighty, we must be all superb. Then students, Martha, it is wrong, Roberts. Berlin, it is not right. John, 100,000 is a lot of money, Dutch. Berlin, you can look into my eyes now, my son, can't you? That means you can look into, that means you can investigate. One's eyesight can renovate one's truthfulness, justify one's truthfulness. John, that's why did you refuse? Wasn't it because you were afraid of what you would say? Berlin, yes, John. John, well, nobody will ever know it, Berlin, except the four of us. That means it must not be disclosed any longer. John, yes, father. Abruptly they separate. Abruptly in the sense instantly or quickly. Weeps in silence, Abe weeps in silence. Martha, being less emotional, blows her nose noisily, and fumbles means think hard, thinking about fumbles. With her knitting, John, having nothing better to do, scowls means you're furious out of the window, and while in near the fireplace, clenches and unclenches his hands. Someone's coming. Anyone is coming. Martha, raising her head. Who is it? John, I can see. It looks like Mr. Marshall. Berlin, Mr. Marshall. It is Mr. Marshall. Martha, the president of the Third National. Berlin is, what does he want here? If, shall I show him in, father? Berlin is, by all means. If goes out. Martha, Robert, be careful of what you say. You are to go on the stand tomorrow. Berlin nervously says, as I look out. Martha, let him talk. Say nothing at all. Mr. Marshall, well, spending the afternoon indoors. How are you, Mrs. Berlin? Martha, we are just going out on air. Mr. Marshall, oh, you need not go on my account. You can hear what I have to say. Berlin, if you feel like coming around the third national sometime this week, you will find a position waiting for you. So Berlin is invited honestly to join the job there. So honesty always approves. Berlin, do you mean that, Mr. Marshall? Marshall, smiling. I would not say it if I did not. I was in to see when Sam this afternoon. He told me about the offer he had made you, but he knew that no amount of money could make you do something. You thought wrong, Berlin. He paid you the supreme compliment rather than to go to the trials with you to testify against him. Contest, actually. When actually the bribe was not given, still then when Baldwin could not take the bribe at that time, actually Sam was sure that since Baldwin is not taking the bribe, he would not make any mistake. He will not actually be negative so far as his attitude is concerned. Since my friend will not support me, I must be arrested. So the Sam confessed that I have committed the misappropriated the said amount so far as the third national is concerned. Marshall told the whole story. I can only say to you what every man will be saying tomorrow. How highly I honor and respect your husband. How sincerely. So the suspense activities, the dubious activities, the causal activities between the husband and the wife, between the father and the son, father and the daughter coming to a zero like substance. The evidence come through proper ways of employment. Martha, please, can't you see is crying? The curtain falls. Really, that is the hour of truth. Truth always pay the best. And you must have patience, you must have to wait till the result is visible. And you must have to be patient. And since you are the students of first to second years, you must have a certain type of subject that is sociology perhaps. And Western is having sociology. So Western, it is honestly speaking to you. Right? If you are getting time, you have to just take my contact. And when the other people are coming here, if you can come at least 1 hour. By 10th of November, I can almost cover up the sociology notes. And I want you to be a position plus to second year arts. Almost all the students are good students. Still, then you must have to be honest and perform your duty in an honorary manner. After the result is declared, after the exam is actually over, I don't contact with the students because I have such type of an ability as students. Always I cover up maximum number of students. Personally, I have an English medium coaching center at Chandi School. I have civil service institute. And so many institutions are there. How I will disclaim after my students. If the student needs my help, then and there I am always with them. But if the students are silent, why I will call them? What is the position? Because my daughter is also reading kindly. She is very experienced and they are also trying to explaining her knowledge and she is getting to be class 10. If I could offer any time for her, that would be noblest for me for this generation to come. So since we have only November, December, January, and the exam would be covered up last week of March. Last week of March. Let's say week 30th of March. Within the spontaneous question, if you are getting after time, it is my advice. You can master anything. You have the potentiality, I know you. Have concentrate. And you see, art subject is such a subject. It needs better understanding, better handwriting, and a better remembering. If you can wrote anything else, wrote, if you can get it by heart, you any student of arts having good handwriting can secure good marks. That is my suggestion. And it is not mathematics, physics, or chemistry, or IT. It needs technical knowledge, other subject, but art subjects are such subjects. It needs students really good handwriting, good remembering, and a good actually expression by writing. Actually, try to get it by heart. Then and there, it will be very fine. So I am here to provide you different type of notes actually on the basis of your capability. And you see, there is only English book of madam. And we must have to diversify the points. When the headings are there, we must have to actually reclaim it. And you just contact with the Arpita, Sahu of JKBK, or Varsha and others. Because I shall not compel a revenue student. At that time, they are going to the college. At 11:15 onwards, I would be available. And if you will come, actually, Vaishnavi, it would be a noble thing. Just prepare the notes. When you are making the notes, actually, you are covering a 50% answers. Thereafter, the spelling would be good. And when you are writing or expressing yourself, the handwriting would be good. So far as my knowledge is concerned, it is better before actually taking the examination, appearing the examination, if you write the answers again and again, it is, will provide you certain type of goal. With the students, we have covered up only 8 or 9 classes. If you provide, I can cover up the long questions successfully. Just contact Arpita, you must have the number of Arpita or Varsha, Linka. They are coming at the time I am advising them because it is not easy. The notes are consisting of Odia medium and English. What a teacher can do. When actually we are providing the English medium at that time, Odia medium students may complain. For that purpose, I have selected certain more students of Odia medium as well as English. If the Odia medium students are coming, they are writing the notes in Odia. If the English medium students are coming, they are writing the notes in English. But students in the class, when we are explaining the chapter, we must have to speak in English as well as Odia. Because both the students are available. So that is the competition. Then students say, we have covered up. How many chapters are left to go through?
It's almost completed.
The book completed. Another book is there for us. Relating to what chapters, sir? Resume thereafter pamphlet. Your writing skills and linking devices must be there. Hour of truth completed one. What date? Okay, what date? So what the business means relating how to write a winning resume. Then some samples of advertisements on the education of a man of business or authorities. After writing resume, perhaps it has been done perhaps in better relating to your sample paper. Sample any sir. Alternative English रो sample paper रे maximum देखिए resume हमरा pamphlet अच्छी dialogue writing किसी भी अच्छी बड़ी चीज टेलीफोनिक एक्सप्रेशन कन्वर्सेशन
So,